Hello everybody, it's been a while, but we're back with some fun stuff going on. The summer's winding down, so the shop is getting slower, which means we can get back on giving awesome YouTube videos out. Today, we're going to be working on a Dean Kernel titanium mountain bike that I picked up. It's actually a really funny story. I have a IndyFab Tie Deluxe that I converted into a gravel bike. That's my favorite bike. I ride it the most of all my bikes. So I've been wanting to find a titanium mountain bike in my size. This one popped up locally and I contacted the guy, but I couldn't make it to pick it up until Sunday. It was like a Thursday. The shop was super busy and he was first come, first serve, whoever gets there first. It's okay, Daisy. And so I called some friends and nobody else could get there because I think he had someone coming like Friday night. No one could get there, everyone was busy. But what I had forgotten is I have a buddy who buys bikes for me. He's like, oh, I bought all these bikes, do you want them? And so I'll go to his house, like every few months and grab 5 or 6 bikes. Well, without thinking to ask him, he luckily bought this. Well, I thought some, random person got it and I was never gonna see it. And then he called me up and said he had it. So I have it. We're just gonna do we're gonna do some changes. So I'll walk you through those quick and then we'll get cracking. So I posted this on Instagram when I got it, but it's just kind of sat in the shed for a while now. And not the shed, in the back of the shop. But as I said, it's a Dean Kernel tie frame. Came with a sweet top line crank, short cage XTR, Avid, Arch Rivals, core stem, this cool race face made in the US and Canada bar, grip shift, sweet blue fork, DT Swiss wheel set with super good, super nice engagement. And Daisy's feeling left out, so whenever she does that, she plays with her toy. Daisy, you're okay. So we're gonna toss on some different parts. I got some things lined up over here. Some new tires, some Ritchie Z-Max, blue race face crank to match the blue fork, Ringo bottle cage, a titanium stem. It's shorter and has some rise, so it'll make the bike fit better. And I don't know what brand it is, but I like the shape. It's like got that like square tube thing going on. A long cage rear derailleur, because I think I'm gonna want to run a little bit bigger cassette, and this one's not faded. I wanted a riser bar, and all I had was this Tytech Hellbent, which will work, but it's pretty heavy, so I'll try to track down something lighter in the future. And then I wanted to do blue grips, so I got some Oris, which I think I'll use, but I also have these no brand, but I think they're too dark, so I'll end up using the Oris. I'm not a grip shift fan, so I also have some 739 8-speed shifters. I couldn't find any XTR ones that I felt like using, so these are in good shape and I have a lot of them. I also have a tie seat post, again unsure on the brand, but nice 2-bolt clamp. And so figure if I do tie, I don't have to worry about galvanic corrosion, because right now it has a aluminum control tech in it. So I already took the grips off with the air compressor, because the air compressor's in the back and that would be even more annoying than Daisy squishing her ball. So next I'm going to pull the grip shift off, pull the brake levers off, get the new shifters on. I'm going to pull the top line crank. These are really cool, but they are prone to cracking, and so I decided if this was going to be like a rider, one I ride frequently, I didn't want to run the top lines and chance them cracking. So I'm going to remove those. I do want to put different skewers on, because I'm not a fan of the excess sticking out, and I know they were doing the red and green to go with the red and the green on the logo, but I think I kind of want to do the blue and then get some tie skewers or a one color skewer to go instead of the Rasta skewers. And then new tires, and I'll get a saddle and I'll be out riding this thing. So let me put this camera back down and we'll get starting on working on it. So I've never been a fan of grip shift. I know some people love it, but I normally run friction shifters, obviously, on most of my builds, but I have friction shifters on my Karate Monkey, which is, not my Karate Monkey, on my Rocky Mountain, which I've been riding a bunch this summer. And I'm just running into problems when I hit big bumps. The shifter, it's a legit, true friction only, not index Sun Tour. And if I hit a big enough bump, I just seem to shift. So I need to put a different shifter on it. Either one that's tighter or one that's indexed to stop it from jumping out of gear. So I decided to use index shifting on this one, so I just wouldn't have to worry about that problem. Okay, the stem is on, and it was interesting, this stem cap, as you can see, kind of goes around more than half the bar. So I had to put it on where the bar is smaller and then slide it over the 25/4. It's meant for 25/4, but it's just the way it fits. You have to actually kind of slide it onto the bar. So that gave me a small bit of pause. So that's gonna look pretty good, I think. Next, we'll take these pedals off and take the crankset off, because we need those chain rings are going to go on the race face crank. So I know I mentioned that a surprise bike. This actually isn't that bike. I have one. I haven't showed on Instagram or anything. It really is going to be a surprise, but I'm still digging up all the parts I need to use for it. And so I'm waiting to get everything in a pile. Easy might have to go without her ball for a bit. The Yeti, I need chain rings for the Yeti. So I was gonna put these chain rings on the Yeti, but they're not the right BCD. And I have chain rings that would fit, but they're new old stock, which I would rather sell than use myself. So that's why the Yeti hasn't been finished. So I'm trying to make sure I have all the parts for the surprise project lined up before I start working on it, so that it doesn't get super delayed. Okay, so now I'm gonna take off these chain rings. We got race face, outer and middle, and then QBP inner. So everything should, I know the outers and the middle match up. So we're 58 and 58. So this tool comes in super handy if you don't have one of these. All this stuff gets confusing. Chainring sizes, everything looks the same. So I'm gonna take these off and clean them, and then I'm gonna put them on here, and then I'll be back. Some progress has been made, but there has been some setbacks. The bottom bracket was loose, and when I went to take it off, I found that, if you can see there, the lock ring was cracked. So I thought that was the problem at first, but then turns out that the bottom bracket was just toast. So need to find a new one of those. I went ahead and put the new derailleur on, slid on the shifters so I wouldn't misplace those, and then I took the chain off because it was toast. It was so toast that the cassette is going to be toast. I put the tires on, but they're causing me grief. They don't want to seat all the way, so I'm tired and I'm going to call it a night. But that cassette is trash. And then I got the rings on the blue crankset. Had to dig for spacers because I wanted to make sure to keep the spacers on this crank. So when I sell it, I don't have to track down spacers. So this is all ready to go. So I'm gonna call it for the night, and I will be back tomorrow, probably before the shop opens, to keep cracking. Hello everybody, we're back. Second day of working on the Dean. The seat post was a little stuck, so I let it soak for a week with Frio, which is my penetrating oil of choice, other than it does kind of stink. But the post came out, just a little bit of turning, it came out. Wasn't too stuck, I just didn't feel like, working on it too hard, so letting it soak always just makes that job easier. Last time I swapped the chain rings over, so we're gonna get this bad boy mounted, and then we just gotta do some cabling, put some grips on, and she'll be ready to go. So I always struggle remembering what size with bottom bracket to use, with which crank. So I just kind of, I'll just put in the drive side and I'll check that the drive side fits. And if the drive side fits, check if the non-drive side fits. Well, there's the first look of the crank on there. I think the blue is a good match. Wish it wasn't as worn, but it just means it had fun in its prior life. Looks like it's a good fit. This is a 1/16 bottom bracket. So actually, just decided I'm gonna take this XT off and replace it with an XTR. So that is the next step. So we're looking for a 31/8 XTR top pull. That's the one. 31/8 top pull M952, and it's in pretty good shape. So these are all the extras, the duplicates that are just waiting to get listed up on the shop. So we have multiples of a lot of the inventory, but because it's used, we only list one at a time, because the photos you're looking at are the item you're gonna get. So if you were to get this one, I would have taken photos of this one, but this one's going on my bike, because there should already be one of these listed. Let's go install this and see how it looks. Okay, XTR is installed. Got the height about right, so once I get the chain on and start shifting, we'll do the finish adjustments. That's actually nice because the band used to be here, which would have interfered with the bottle cage, but with this one, band's down here, so we won't have any issues with the bottle cage. So now we'll pop on the non-drive side arm to make sure that we're going to clear over here, which we are. Grab some more Crank bolts over handy dandy crank bolt bin. Oop! Did you catch that? I almost forgot to install the other cup. Okay, both sides of the crank are installed. It's getting ready to do the brakes. I have some blue housing, which I think matches. So we're gonna do it, because since the Yeti build, I've been into colored housing. So I'm gonna get this front brake set up and the rear set up, and we will see how the blue housing looks. Yeah, it's gonna look real good. Cool, cool, cool. Because this is a titanium frame, I'm going to be using plastic ferrules, cable ends, housing ends, so I don't have to worry about galvanic corrosion. So I have my cable. I have my plastic ferrule. I'll go in there. I just need to clean this up now that I got the cable out of there. But that just helps with titanium and galvanic corrosion. So it's just a easy tip, so you don't have to worry about ferrules getting stuck in your frame. I've decided to change the wheels, mainly because I've decided that that is going to drive me crazy when I'm out riding. I'm a quiet hub kind of person. These DT Swiss wheels are sweet, but I think that's just going to be a little bit too much. So found another sweet set of wheels that I had stashed in my office, which are these nuke-proof carbon shell, and much quieter. So I just need to swap the tires because I still want to use the Ritchie tires, and then I'll get these up and I'll be able to continue tinkering. I'll probably stop back at the shop to finish this tonight after I run some errands. But yeah, we're gonna get this finished and I'll be out riding, and then we're gonna go on to the next project. Super exciting. Hello everybody. So I finished up the Dean. I was rocking out to music, just kind of in the groove, so I wasn't, forgot to film, but all the finishing touches are done. All I'm waiting on is this is a 98 RockShox Sid, so it uses like a ball inflator to fill it up with air, and I thought I had one living in this little case, but I don't, so can't ride it until I acquire one of those to put some air in it. But yeah, RockShox blue crank, XTR front and rear derailleur. Really, some of my favorite tires for vintage builds are these Ritchie Z-Max. These are the repops that came out a while ago. This is a new turbo, but I think it just looks really great on there, so I popped it on there. Control Tech Post. Not sure of the brand on this tie stem, but it's like diamond shaped, so somebody may know what it is. And then Ori grips, some 739 XT shifters, Avid Rival arch brakes. The bolts are all corroded, so that's a project for another day. But I mean, the fork's got some corrosion too. So nuke-proof carbon hubs laced to some Mavic 517s with multiple color spoke nipples. Well, these are all green, I guess. The back are green and black. I had them that way. I didn't lace them up. So nuke proof. I like this wheel much better. A lot quieter than the DT Swiss wheel set that was on here before, so that's good for my sanity. You know, the crank has use, but I mean, it's gonna get ridden, and so, you know, to me that's just storage. Just threw on some test ride pedals when I thought I had a ball valve. So there she is. That's the bike. Hope you all enjoyed the build. Got a lot more fun builds in the works. The next one is super exciting, and I can't wait to start working on that one. Like I said, now that fall's here and the shop is slowing down, I hope to be pumping out a lot more build videos. Someone asked for like a show and tell some of the nicer inventory we have for sale, so we're going to do that, and hopefully some fall riding and a bunch of other cool videos are in the pipeline. Like and subscribe. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to check out our site, Cringe Engineer Cycles. There'll be a link below for all your vintage mountain and road bike parts needs. We have tons of inventory, and more is added weekly, along with a really good selection of hard to find catalogs that we just put on some Dean catalogs on a 97 and a 94 and a 91, I believe. They're not, I couldn't find them anywhere else on the web, so they're there, they're a resource. Turns out this one I believe is a 98 based off the fork, and that it has the cable routing on the top. All the earlier ones had it on the side. So yeah, I'm really excited to ride this, and had a lot of fun building it up, and I love the color scheme. Thanks for watching.